We're going to talk about the film first.
Sure.
Thought it was interesting. I thought it was like an interesting exploration of imperialism and Edward Said novel Orientalism, and the romanticisation that takes place with the Western world towards desert nomadic peoples, and also an exploration of the addiction genre that started with Thomas de Quincey's seminal novel Confessions of an English Opium Eater. I thought it was also an interesting exploration of power politics between the Third World and also the hegemony of the United States. Yeah, pretty good overall, I'd say.
So how many minutes
you
this
got
film
that
did
from
you
20
watch?
minutes in.
Yeah, I didn't watch the film, to be fair. I watched the first 5 minutes and then I went on my phone, so carry on, that's my contribution.
Why did you give up?
Excellent.
Why did you just decide you're not?
Because I'm a quitter. Okay, I'm a quitter. I give up easily. I don't have the attention span for big movies. Unless the dude's not in it.
Actually, that comment lines up pretty well with what I thought about the movie, is that it seemed quite sort of ADHD as a movie. As
Oh
a
my
film.
god, it's so...
Right?
There was far too much content for
Yeah.
a 2 hour
No,
film.
that's exactly what I was going to say. Is it's like the whole way they've adapted the book is it's sort of like they've taken the book and they've taken certain paragraphs that they thought were interesting and then just lined up the paragraphs and made them into scenes. And that's how I think the film was probably made. Is they just took paragraphs that they liked, chucked them into scenes, and then put those scenes together, and then that's the film.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
there
seem
was
to be a
no
clear.
narrative journey.
If you hadn't
Yeah.
read
Yeah,
the,
things come in, things come out, things come in, things come out.
if you hadn't read the book, or
Yeah.
in my case, I hadn't seen the first film,
Mhm.
I would have absolutely no fucking clue what
Yeah,
was going on.
You need.
But it
sort of
seemed
prior knowledge.
like it was like the equivalent of taking the book, reading one page, skipping 50 pages, reading the 50th page, skipping 50 pages, and then just doing that until you finish the book.
I think yeah, that's true.
Mm.
Yeah, 'cause I imagine you would have no fucking clue what was going on in there. Also, like how unimportant the big, like this guy turns up the Spacers guy at the top.
Spacers Guild.
Yeah, the first bit of the film.
Oh, the Navigator.
Yeah, and you think, oh, he's going to be so important, this big creepy guy. And he turns up about twice more in the whole film.
Oh, the big sort of octopus alien
Yeah,
thing.
so
tank.
that's a
Oh, that I
Navigator.
made it that far.
Yeah.
I
Did you
saw
see?
that.
Did you
That
see
was
when
like
it went
the first
away?
5
Did
minutes,
you see when it
mate.
went away? All of these little henchmen or whatever started vacuuming up all the slime that he was leaving behind. So like, why the fuck does he care if he's leaving slime or not? If he's so important.
He's embarrassed.
Who does
Those are
Sting? Who
good
does Sting
navigators.
play?
Sting plays Mr. Harkonnen, Baron Harkonnen's
Baron.
So the
boy.
bald,
Nephew.
so the
Nephew,
fat-
one of his nephews.
Nephew.
No, the slim one. Is it Zeph? I want to say Zeph. It's not
No,
Zeph.
it began with Zed.
Why are they all Scottish? The Barons,
I think
just fat gangers.
they're meant to look inbred. I think that's.
I think
that'll be
no,
why.
I think that is because I've got noted that I've actually got in my notes here Harkonnen incest vibes.
yeah.
Very campy yet disturbing undertones.
Yeah.
They had the Baron, who
Because
was a
he was
big fat
making-
ginger
He
with
was making
acne.
eyes. He was making eyes at his nephews.
Oh
Yeah,
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 he
yeah.
was, yeah.
That was
He's
weird.
a homosexual paedophile in the book. I understand.
Yeah.
Homosexual, incestuous homosexual paedophile.
Yeah.
You got the big three.
Yeah.
Not the big three.
Yeah.
You can do it all.
I mean, one of those is not like the others, but.
Yeah, one of them is fine. Just like to clarify for the listeners. And the one.
But which one are we saying? Oh, you never know.
Yeah, I feel like as you were saying, the watcher is expected to sort of know about the world and have a sort of
Yeah, definitely.
predefined knowledge about the actual story before they actually go in.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the amount of jargon they use is insane.
It is mad that you have David Lynch directing the film. You have Brian Eno doing the screenplay of the film. You're adapting one of the most celebrated
Sci-fi novels.
sci-fi
ever.
novels, ever. And it was an absolute shiter. It was
Well, it was
fucking
a
dreadful.
case study on how not to adapt something. I think
Yeah.
because I feel like watching this and comparing it to the remake, the remake is so much of a better case.
Well, the remake is
Two.
split into two
Well,
films.
I
which
also
I
have
think
that
is pretty
noted down.
crucial.
Yeah, I think that's why they definitely see why they split it into two because the amount of content.
They also got rid of the fact. I know in the book you can hear everyone's thoughts for some reason, and they do that in
They
the
do it in the
film
movie,
in
yeah.
the 1984 Dune, and it's just annoying. It's just weird that it seems that people are speaking but no one's moving their mouths, and for like a lot of the time what happens is you'll be showing something like a little girl, and then Paul will go, a little girl. So why do we need to hear that? It's
also
weird.
Also because they're all magic in that, it's kind of difficult to tell what characters can hear. Like, because Paul is meant to be telepathic somehow.
Yeah, it would
but
have
you
worked
don't-
just telepaths. that
You
done it,
don't
but-
you don't actually know if he can hear the other thoughts or he's not meant to be hearing that. I don't really actually know if he is or not. Obviously, Big Herbert probably put like he's thinking that, and then Paul can hear it and stuff.
Yeah, brother Herbert.
Mm-hmm.
But
Not Herbert.
yeah. But another thing I really didn't like about it is just every time Paul had a sweaty sleep, there was a massive exposition drop. Just like he would be sweating away in his sleep, and he'd be like, "This is going to happen, and that's going to happen, and that's why that happened." It's just like obviously David Lynch like cramming in exposition because you just need to explain this massive world.
Yeah, I just feel like they had so much that they wanted to put in. I mean, Dune is such like a, you're creating this. You're trying to convey this massive universe with so many individual laws and things and stuff. But I feel like it could have been done way better than it was, because I feel like it was just too much. And you know what the thing that struck me is, right, 1984 came out after Star Wars, right?
That's what
And I thought
7 years after
there's-
the original.
exactly. So I think there's still a bit of like they're probably taking inspiration from it, but you can understand why Star Wars got so popular, and Dune is only really getting popular now after the new movies, because Star Wars was so much more approachable for a wider audience.
also was done so much better. I mean,
Yes, well, yeah, definitely.
Dune just looked ridiculous. Every time they had CGI of any sort, it just looked dumb.
Well, no, a lot of the time actually, I was going to say that, but one of the good parts of it was the actual use of, a lot of it wasn't actually CGI. Miniatures.
Well,
Really good use of
I would have
miniatures.
thought Lynch would have been against a heavy use of CGI. I would have thought a lot of it was actually.
in the end,
stage
bat,
You
production.
can
in the
see
end
a lot of
battle,
those miniatures.
you know when they're like shooting the
Oh, yeah.
the worm,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like tiny little explosions, and it looks stupid. And then most of the
God
explosions
awful. Yeah.
don't even like line up with the worm. It's like bits near the worm. It just looks dumb.
Also, the shield effect is fucking awful.
Oh yeah, but it's just like a big rectangle rather
Yeah,
than
I think they did a director's cut or something where they actually changed that, so you can buy like a better one. We can still see the characters in it, but it's like really bizarre, awful effect. I don't know why they would choose that. It's putting my polybang, mate, and that's what I'd do if I was a filmmaker.
It's incredible as well with the comparison to Star Wars that Star Wars didn't have original source material. It was released as a film.
I
and
think that helped it though.
Well, usually it would be the case as with Dune, where it's adapted from a novel that already has a following,
Mm-hmm.
but it's much easier to make it into a successful adaptation. Right, and Dune, the 1984 film, was quite a failure, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas Star Wars was incredibly successful, and everyone knew the characters after a year of it being out.
But I think that's the thing, is because George Lucas came at it. So I've looked into like all the shit from Star Wars before, just because. Basically, I think the reason that Dune sort of failed or Star Wars didn't in that aspect is the fact that George Lucas had so much freedom to sort of change and mould his story around a film, whereas when you're adapting Dune, it's sort of like you're dragged down by the source material instead of being put up by it. Do you know what I mean? Because Dune's written in such a way that it's not really conducive to film clearly, as we've seen with the Dune having to be the new one having to be split into two movies. There's just so much information that you have to have before sort of getting into the world that can't be conveyed in a 10-minute sort of
exposition
yeah.
drop. Yeah, but I mean, if you watch the
But Star Wars can be built from the ground up.
first the villain use Dunes, I found it incredibly slow.
Mm-hmm.
But the first part of the book is incredibly slow because it's just you just have to
Need to
explain
establish it, yeah.
and establish this entire world, and then everyone's saying that the second Dune is like incredible. It's one of the best science fiction films that's been out in however many years. So
People are saying that Dune Part 2
is very very good. Yeah,
better than Dune Part 1.
yeah.
It's probably got more interesting stuff in it because they don't have to
Well, all the-
establish stuff.
yeah, all the
Likely
stuff
as to
like
do.
Like I do,
Yeah.
Florence Pugh.
Aye. Yeah, no. Honestly, it just feels. Yeah, it feels as if like they had the book was sort of holding them down because they were sort of attached to material that wasn't really especially well adapted for film. If you get what I mean. because I think and one of the things I noticed is like out of nowhere the relationship between Paul and
Chelsea. So I don't know.
Zendaya's character.
it's not who becomes Zendaya's character, Chani.
Who was the woman from Blade Runner?
Was she?
I recognise her.
Aye, she misses Robot. Aye.
So yeah, I just felt like that relationship was really fucking rushed.
It was.
It's like they meet and then like 2 scenes after it's
Any
like
foot.
I love you forever. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What? We've known each other for like 2 days. What? I don't know. It just the timeline didn't really add up. Some parts felt rushed. Some parts felt slow. Pacing wasn't really there. You know, I just felt like details were brought in, then brought out, then brought in, then brought out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just didn't feel. This again, as I said, it feels like they've just taken out paragraphs that they liked and then just chucked them all together.
No, it was very obviously rushed and everything sort of squeezed in at the last point.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean the only other notes I have for it is that the Baron looks like Fat Bastard from Austin Powers, like the sort of the Scottish aspect of it, the incest. I found the David Lynch is like obsessed with making me look at weird babies. Like
You personally are.
making me personally, yes. Like you know the baby thing when the mother drinks the water of life or whatever.
Oh yeah,
It's
the-
like
and
an
then
idiot.
she has a early
yeah.
birth for her baby that's in her stomach. Just fucking disgusting. Like I don't have
Yeah,
to.
that whole character was
When
like,
else?
Arya. It's Arya, isn't it?
Aye.
Butchered. Completely butchered.
Are
Just the wee girl.
oh, that grows up.
Yeah.
Super
Butchered.
fast.
Completely. She just loses a lot of the, like, especially because the actor is clearly, like, doesn't have any idea what she's doing.
Oh, the acting in general of that film was god awful.
Just the child actor,
See
especially.
the head of the Atreides family, the
Leto.
Leto.
Yeah.
Just is he from the same village as Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that? Like why is he just randomly talk like this and everyone else talks normally?
I think he's obviously just German.
Do you know what? The acting was weird because I think there's a bit of like what's going on there because Leto, you know the first scene with Leto and Paul
Mm-hmm.
where it's like
He's out in the rain.
no it's the one where they're in the wee hut, right? And it's like I'm proud of you, son. And then just straight after he goes, I want you to be proud of me.
yeah.
I was
Also,
like-
was he dubbed as well?
I think
Because
he was
his
dubbed a
mouth
lot.
was not
Yeah.
in sync with
So
what he was
the
saying.
German guy.
Yeah, it was like, I'm proud of you, son, and then, I want you to be proud of me.
I want you to be proud of me. It was like it was just done in such a like it came
Was
out of
was
nowhere.
that meant to be his internal
No, I think he
dialogue,
said
or
it. He
does
like,
actually
said it.
say it to his
Yeah, he
dad?
said
Right,
it.
okay.
This
Right.
is making me wonder, and I don't know if any of you would know this. Did it have a fraught production process for that?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. But,
Yeah, I mean the one before that what was the one before?
What
Cleanse
Odorovsky's
this-
Well,
Okay.
Odorowski's was famous for
Jodorowsky.
disaster.
I think
And it never
that
got
was the
made,
thing
did it?
is because there's so well. I mean, you've seen them at like miniature. Well, you thought it like the amount of miniatures, the amount of costumes, just the pacing of it. It's pretty clear that there was a lot sort of edited and a lot of cutting and a lot of shit needed to be moved around.
Well, if I was a producer from a major studio and I thought we're going to put loads of money into this adaptation of an already successful book that has a loyal fan base, my first thought for the director that I can depend upon to make a successful film wouldn't be David Lynch, because he's too experimental to adapt a novel.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you do see that. You definitely see that.
They took a risk and it did not pay off.
He's a sort of art house.
Yeah,
guy.
I liked his sort of style though that he put on it though, because if you look at a lot of the sort of the original art of Dune, it's very sort of like what's the word? So the vibes are painting like a lot of the time.
Mhm.
If you get the sort of quality, but in this movie it's just very, it's camp in a good way. Do you know what I mean? There's a retro sci-fi aspect
Yeah,
that I feel gets lost nowadays.
I think it's more stylish than
Definitely.
Paul, whatever he fucking the new guy.
Yeah, the new one.
Feeling view.
I feel the
Right,
new
yeah.
one especially is very sort of, they try and make it a lot more realistic.
That boring dreary thing.
Yeah, the palette's very dull, but in this one it's very camp. It's very bright. There's a lot of colours.
A lot
And
of
I think-
cinema has that now. It's just very drab cinematography.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then this is like retro sci-fi sort of
The
like
ones
fucking
that
good stuff.
I really liked there was one scene in particular. He did this shot quite a lot where it was the Fremen walking across the sand, but
Yeah.
sort of from far off, and they kind of just looked like specks.
I
Which was
noticed
really good.
they reused a lot of those shots.
Yeah, well, they were good anyway.
Yeah.
And then they had a water effect over that, and Paul and whatever the woman's name is, I can't remember. Channy kissing within the water over the shot of the sand, which was good. That and stuff like that. There was a lot of stylistic shots. Obviously coming from David Lynch, who is a great director.
Mm.
But I think he, as you said, was just bogged down with like having to just dump so much exposition, go through this entire plot in one film, which easily, if it was actually true to the book, would have been 4 hours, not 2 hours and 20.
Probably even more, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah, I feel like they just had to cut so much out for runtime, because I feel like there's definitely like halfway through. Oh, what was the bit? There's a particular bit I remember. Oh, do I remember it? No, I don't. And I feel like there's like instances of characters popping in, and it sort of feels like you're supposed to have met them before, but there's no other references to them.
Yeah.
Or concepts that you just no other reference to.
Maybe the introductory scenes got cut.
That's what I'm thinking. Is
Yeah.
a lot of stuff probably got cut.
There is a fan edit. Oh, I didn't watch this, but it's on YouTube. Don't know how the fuck it did that, but there's a fan edit on YouTube which is nearly 3 hours long. So I really got the new footage, no idea, because I didn't watch it.
Some deleted scenes.
Yeah, so it'll be deleted scene, and I imagine it'll be recut. I know it's recut because it started from the beginning. Also, I understand that the Emperor's daughter is important in Dune,
Mm-hmm.
the book, but she only appears in the beginning of this one and the end. I imagine. She speaks in the beginning and then it's in the scene at the end. I imagine there's
She didn't
scenes of
speak
her.
in the end.
Yeah,
She's
I
just
imagine.
looks.
I imagine this whole scene's cut with her.
Definitely.
Quite a lot of dialogue as well. They'll be like, "I told you this before, or you have to do this
That's what-
again."
that's
and
what
it was
I mean,
the
it's
first time that
it's
they
like
never
these
said that or
concepts-
did that.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like these concepts are supposed to be like, you feel as if that's like, wait a minute, where'd that come from?
And then when they introduced the thumper,
Exactly.
it's like, "Oh, we use a thumper."
That's exactly
As
what
if
I'm
we're
thinking.
supposed to know what a
Yeah,
fucking thumper
because
is.
they never explained like any of this, and I think I was sort of thinking about the remake in that case, because they like go through all of that, and I think that's why it was so long boring a lot of the
I
time.
don't think you need to explain what a thumper is, man. Tell me
No,
what a
no,
No,
thumper
you have
do.
to explain
You
it. 'Cause
do.
it's like, well,
If you didn't
the
know-
worms are attracted to vibrations.
already said
so we
that,
have
though.
we have to
Rhythmic
do this in
vibrations, yeah.
order to.
Yeah, they already said that. They said
They
it's.
said the worms attracted to vibration. They didn't say what a thumper was. I knew what a
And then
thumper
they
was.
put
also
because
came
I
out of
saw,
nowhere.
I saw the villain.
And then they
film.
put a thumper on the floor and they go, "That's a thumper, fantastic."
No,
No, they didn't say that's a thumper. We go, alright, we'll use a thumper. Put the
Yeah,
thumper down and
but
then
that's the
went.
thing, is there was no sort of context behind it either.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it's a thumper. What
And
the
it's going,
fuck? Where's
it's
that
going
from?
uns, you can see what the fuck
Yeah,
it's
but
doing.
where's they don't establish it early on. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
There's no sort of like, oh, this is this, and because in the remake that's what they do. You sort of see them going, oh, yeah, these are the hooks. If you remember the whole hook thing, for riding it.
I think the in the villain view one, it's the guy, the master of the sand that talks about thumpers when they're
Sandman.
the Sandman, when they were going to see the spice bean mines.
Yeah.
You know, when it ends up all going to
All got the
shite,
shit.
basically.
Yeah.
I think he explains what a thumper is in the villain view one,
Yeah.
whereas he doesn't in this one.
I think you need that. It's like, yeah, it feels like they're missing a lot of key exposition, but the exposition they put in is like,
It's all
it
going
feels
to
like
once.
it feels big picture exposition was put in and small picture exposition was left out. If you get what I mean.
Yeah. At the start as well, Paul's also playing a wee game, a wee learning game.
Oh,
where,
yeah,
like,
this
this
wee
is what
iPad.
spice is. This is what a worm is. And it's like, this guy's what, 26? Does he not know this already?
Mhm.
Like,
He's meant to be about 15, I think.
15.
Yeah, I think in the book he's about 15.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a teenager. Yeah.
Kyle MacLachlan's come back as well. Nowadays, everyone loves Kyle.
What's he
He's
in?
all over TikTok. He does little girly pop TikToks.
I don't know who this.
What, at 54?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say how.
How? I don't know.
A
He just does-
70-year-old man just dancing or whatever.
Yeah, just wee dances, and he'll be like, you know, put like little stuff from the craft shop in his tote bag, and Talking about.
I'm so glad
Okay,
I'm not on
TikTok's like
TikTok. I'm so glad.
Mate, you're on Instagram Reels and that, but it's
Oh,
like,
and I
You just
hate
get
it.
it 3 months late.
No, true.
I'm in
True.
review stuff.
yeah. I think Timothée Chalamet's a better cast for Paul because he's fucking annoying and a bit kind of weedy looking.
And you fancy.
Nah.
No, I don't.
I don't want that in the podcast, thank you.
Shut
I
up.
don't think he's listening, don't worry.
Yeah, I think like the whole. I think the start of the film where you had like Paul and his wee iPad, his wee fucking Logitech.
Yeah, he was having iPad time.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, in the fucking book there's been ages on that fucking wee learning thing. Like all these wee iPad learning about fucking worms and that.
Yeah, but it's done so much better. It's done so much better in the book.
Is he supposed to be a super genius?
Yeah.
Okay, it's super.
And it's honestly, it's like, worm. These worms inhabit the planet and they like spice. He's like, oh, they cool. Well,
Do you know what spice is?
It's also
Well done.
surely if spice is like the most important thing in the world, surely everybody in that place, in the whole like empire or whatever, knows everything there is to know about spice. You know what I mean? It's like
Well,
I
no,
know.
because it's like the Spacer Guild wants to keep it sort of under wraps, don't they? They don't want any knowledge because they want to keep monopoly.
Mm.
Because that's the whole thing about the Spacer
Knowledge.
Because
Guild.
you can fold the universe with space and travel.
Yeah,
That's
if
why.
you're
I
just
heard
going
that. A
mad
junkie
about
told me that once.
Yeah,
It's at
the
the
Berlin,
gigs.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
I looked up my iPad later.
It makes you invisible and invincible. Space.
I looked up the reviews for it in Letterboxd because you know I like to plug Letterboxd. And it has 2.9 stars, which for a
That's
David
too
Lynch,
much.
which for a David Lynch film on with the Letterboxd
I think David,
audience is terrible.
I think David Lynch done some howlers, but he did that one about a guy going to the neighbouring state on a lawnmower.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
That's,
I've never heard of it.
that's total pish. I watched it on Channel 4. Channel 4 film, what's it called? Film 4.
I actually don't like David Lynch very much because I mean not his filmography, but I saw a clip of him and he was just shouting at some assistant director. And I was thinking, this isn't cool or artistic. You're just being horrible to people. And he comes across as a bit of a dick, to be honest.
It comes across a bit of a weirdo.
No, but not that. It's not like he comes across as an arty guy. He just seems like an angry old man who uses his artistry to cover up the fact that he's just a mean old man. He's just shouting at his assistant director because she leans over and says, "Do you maybe want to cut here?" And he goes, "What the fuck is it with you? What fucking cut? Why do we fucking have to cut every 5 minutes? What the fuck is with everyone?" And it's like, calm down.
But that's his art, mate. I think it's art.
Yeah, really.
I did feel personally attacked when he had that video. It was like, all these fucking kids watching fucking films on their fucking phones.
Yeah.
I've watched maybe 150 films on my phone. So,
I know, it's just, I mean, that is funny. But if he actually believes that and talks to people that way, he needs to take a chill pill, man. He needs to chillax. So
But
what would you guys give it out of 5 stars?
Well, I got a couple points before that.
Oh,
I've got a couple
Sorry.
points.
Sorry.
All these fucking kids when they get the fucking scores. Fuck.
What the fuck is it when you kids want a cut? Why the fuck we got a cut here? 1 star, 2 star, who gives a fuck?
to be fair, on the podcast, Tom has full editorial control. He can put in whatever he
It
likes.
does, yeah. Aidan's just a cop cutting around Aidan going, fucking kids, fucking kids.
The universe is my design.
Wait, what do you have to do the weekend?
fucking kids.
It's recorded now. Just wanted to talk about like the actual sort of. I think that a lot of the actual set design, the miniatures and stuff is actually probably the best bits of the film. To be honest, like if you notice how, did you see at the start with the sort of house? What's the planet called again? It's not Cameron.
Something like that, aye.
It's not. It's
Caladan,
Caladan.
yeah.
Oh,
It's like Caliban, but not Caliban, I think.
So basically, if you look on Caliban, they're Tracy's planet. Just the actual design of all the buildings and shit, I fucking loved that. I was like, that's some Geiger influence right there.
The set design itself did actually remind me of Star Wars. It's quite similar.
Yeah, there's definitely influence taken.
Yeah.
Definitely. I really liked how it was all done. I really liked the schlockiness of it.
Oh, the ships.
The schlockiness.
Yeah.
What's
I
that?
just- It's like the campiness, the sort of like it doesn't take itself too seriously in terms of design.
Right.
The story was shite, but the design of it was just.
I didn't
Great.
like the spaceships.
You don't like spaceships?
I think they were rubbish.
Do you know
Oh,
what?
the just the big what look a nut.
Yeah, they all look the same, and then
Yeah.
there was one that looked like a nut.
I think the
I'll bring up
definitely
because you
could
want to
have-
see it. I'll bring up the Hodorowski ones for
the Hodorowski, the
for
one with the
you
big
and-
stripes.
yeah for Ewan and
I love
Aidan.
those ships.
Tom knows. Tom has seen this, and I think we'll probably end up talking about this. But Tom's seen a document. Just keep going, Tom.
My theory of film generally is that the narrative story is probably less important than the visuals anyway, because I think with film is just sound and visual for me.
Mm-hmm.
So if a film isn't very consistent or very perfect in its story, I can forgive it if it's visually interesting.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I'd agree with that. Yeah, but the only other real thing, yeah, is just like, it's just very. Do you know it was Have you noticed in the end credits? I don't know if you guys actually made it to the end
I
credits.
know, as soon as that film was off,
Yeah.
I got switched off.
I noticed that
Slammed the
the
laptop.
end credits. It doesn't feel like a sci-fi movie. It feels like you're watching the end credits to like a rom-com. No, it's because it has like it's like the waves in the background, and then they have the portraits come up.
Oh
sort
no,
of
I did
stare-
see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a sort of sitcom.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck am I watching here? What is this?
And it's
Yeah.
like
Completely took me out. I was like, okay, that's what the
It was
fuck.
like Ken McLaughlin, please.
Exactly.
Oh, what
and it's just like him standing.
Cross, like,
It's
gives a wee
just-
thumbs up.
wasn't the music also by Toto? Am I going
No,
mad?
the
Yeah.
music was by.
No, he's right. It
Brian
was,
Eno?
It was scored by Toto. I heard that.
It was Brian Eno.
Yeah, Brian Eno does the main song, I think, but it says Toto on the.
Brilliant.
That makes more sense because I was like, when am I hearing Brian Eno through this entire thing?
But yeah, no, I think like that was the weirdest bit. And did you guys know it was an Oscar nomination?
For what? Costumes?
I don't fucking know. I just seen it on Amazon Prime. It's like,
Oh,
oh yes, this movie is an Oscar nominee. It's like, for what? What the fuck?
I would
Probably
guess
just
it'd be costumes.
Yeah.
In fairness, they were good for the time.
I like how utterly grotesque the Harkonnen guy is,
Oh yeah,
which is much better than as it is in
the remake.
the
Yeah.
remake, because he's just your classic villain,
He's just a big slug.
big flat villain guy with a deep voice, which is what they do nowadays. But that guy is utterly grotesque. Let me just look.
What, the big octopus guy?
No, not the
No, the fucking
Harkonnen.
Baron, the Baron.
Oh, Baron, right? Yeah.
With
No,
his
Baron is.
Fucked up face.
He's getting like, acne treatment at one
Yeah.
point, and then they give him a boy. They
And
just
he-
put a boy in front of him,
Yeah.
and then he goes like, licks his lips, and then goes up to the boy and takes out his heart plug,
Yeah,
which
so
is something they install in everybody, so you can
no,
just
it's
take out a
it's
plug
for
when they die.
it's yeah, so it makes them into slaves basically.
Yeah.
Also, the thing about the I don't know what the fucking cunts with the big eyebrows, right? All of
Oh, the
the
Mentats.
all of the Mentats have massive eyebrows in this, right?
Yeah.
That's one
And
thing.
you go to Turkish barbers, get them whipped
It's the
out.
lips as well.
Yeah, the Mentats also it gets put poison put in them, and then David Lynch's idea for how, as in he has to take antidote every day so he's loyal to the Harkonnens. David Lynch makes
Oh,
him
yeah.
milk a cat
They
for
milk-
some
milk
reason.
a cat which is attached to a rat.
Yeah.
It's just in a box.
Sellotape to a
And
rat.
then the guy just shrugs and goes, I guess it's my life now.
Yeah.
Just have to milk a cat every day.
And he's not back in the film at all.
The whole concept of like the Mentats, it didn't really feel like it was conveyed very well. I'll be honest.
You know in the villain view one, they have the bald guy that looks up every time he...
Yes, I feel like that was a much better
Isn't he a
representation.
Yes, I think he's
No,
good.
what?
what?
What's his name?
We talking?
Who is he in the Dune one? Is he the
He's
bald
the-
witch?
He's the
Or is he the eyebrow guy? So right, okay, so that makes
See,
sense.
that became a meme where he calculates something really quickly.
yeah. So I feel like that was a lot better of a adaptation of the Mentats. I feel.
Yeah, I'm just some weird sort of guys with...
I just don't feel like they
Massive
got the whole sort of vibe of the Mentats. Do you know what I mean? In that film, I just felt like they were just big eyebrow goofy guys.
How good is the book if you've read it?
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not my favourite sci-fi ever.
The idea appeals to me. I think the story's quite appealing.
I think the actual power play and politics are good. I think the book is great when in conjunction with its sequels. I think
there's a
that's
few
where it
sequels,
gets
aren't
like it gets like really good after that. Like I think the Dune is good as a part of a bigger whole. But I think Dune by itself is just good. I'd say it's solid. But like with its sequels, it gets amazing.
Was Frank Herbert a big fan of Islam?
I saw a meme today that was saying the director Denis Villeneuve would say, "Oh, it's about power politics," and I'm sure that Herbert would agree with me. And then Frank Herbert was just saying, "Man, I love cocaine and the infinite light of Islam."
Nearly as much as I love the infinite light of Islam.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It
obviously
seem that way.
Yeah.
When you watch the film.
Yeah.
I mean, you know in Rambo 3 when it's like it cuts to the end, it says dedicated to the brave Mujahideen fighters or whatever.
It does have a dedication. It said dedicated to it. I thought, no way, but it just said some random guy's name.
yeah, it was the producer's brother or something. I think I understood. Yeah, I think it's obviously just it's a metaphor for the Middle East, basically. Fairly obviously, I think.
There was some comment on the Dune Part 1 because they said it was a kind of racist portrayal of nomadic peoples. Did anyone remember that?
What, like not infantilizing them, but making them more special?
Romanticising
Yeah,
them.
romanticising.
Yeah, they were talking about Orientalism. But I shouldn't have brought that up because I actually don't know what the point was. I just remember it.
The point was because these
Did you see it on
special
Twitter?
mad people, and
Yeah, that sounds about right then.
and they have all their special ways in that, and they're savages and stuff, but they have their ways, all this kind of stuff.
The noble savage.
I remember some racist put up on Twitter the woman who was in this, Rachel, and then next to Zendaya or whatever, and went, "Oh, well, look what they took from you," right? Okay, racist obviously, but
why is that racist?
well, because he's definitely a racist. That guy's a racist.
Well, it's white to mixed race. She's black, or she's mixed race. I thought Zendaya was mixed race.
She is mixed race.
Yeah, so white to mixed race then.
Yeah.
To replace it. But I think they did that for a lot of the characters in
Yeah.
but it doesn't really.
No, it doesn't
change
matter.
the
But it
performance.
doesn't matter. But
I mean, I'll be honest. The original performance wasn't anything to be celebrating. I won't lie to you.
Anyway, by the way,
Zendaya's done a far better performance.
incidentally, what they won was they were nominated for the Academy Award for sound design or best sound, which I imagine is sound design. So that's what they won it for.
Fair play.
That's fine. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
No, I can see that.
There's a documentary called Jodorowsky's Dune, right, which is about the failed attempt by Alejandro Jodorowsky.
Can I just say, are you looking up that thing on Wikipedia right now? What you're talking about?
No.
Right. Don't.
What?
Because
It's part.
we're touching on bit bullshit territory here, so I'd rather
I've
you
seen
don't.
it. I've seen the film.
Right,
I've seen the doc as well.
Can we? Right. Oh, that's not good then.
Yeah. Anyway, but I've seen that.
we can just do it to me because I've not seen it.
Yeah, if you're going to ask who's in it,
Just do it to me, Aidan, please.
Aidan, if you're going to ask who's in it, I know roughly who you're going to say. You know what I mean? I've seen the
Oh.
documentary.
Oh, for God's sake! Right, you can't do.
Well, no, because you knew stuff about his beforehand,
You
so it'd
can-
be unfair to say otherwise.
You cannot partake in titbit bullshit. You are banned from titbit bullshit this week.
Yeah, I know what story
From
you're
No,
Too much knowledge.
you're not.
I'm not
Whether-
going to spoil it.
No,
I'm not
you're
gonna-
trying to spoil it now. Think about what you say.
I'm
You
not
are not
spoiling it.
allowed to
So-
partake in titbit bullshit. Do not talk about that documentary.
I can't
Do not
talk
talk
about the
about the
documentary.
awards.
What is the point in talking about 1984 David Lynch Dune without talking about that? You know what I mean? It's far more interesting.
I think it's a very major. It's not a major part to the actual movie itself.
He's
but I
trying to
think
ruin. He's trying to ruin titbit bullshit.
Well, you
The
can
way-
talk about-
this is like the Willy Wonka experience. All the Waynes are crying. You're ruining it for them. You're ruining the magic.
He is the unknown.
which we
coming
will
back on
cover very soon.
I just okay. Obviously, I think the fact is that if it was made, it would have been a lot better. But there's absolutely no way that anyone would have made the film Jodorowsky wanted to make.
No.
It would have been about 5 hours long. It would have cost hundreds of millions.
Hundreds.
It would have been absurd. They never would have done it.
But I
But
think
my
that's
f-
the beauty of it.
My favourite part of the documentary is he's going, and they dragged me like a sick man to watch David Lynch's Dune, and I went, oh, I came and I sat down, and slowly by slowly I rejoiced because the film was awful.
What was the? I think you've told me before that he wanted Thingy to play Baron. What do we call him? The French champagne.
Oh,
guy.
Orson Welles.
Orson
They
Welles.
wanted Orson Welles to play, yeah.
Oh,
And
I
then,
can see
and
that.
then in
Yeah.
order to, well, you can tell it, but when they was trying to entice him to play Baron,
He was like, he went to the restaurant that Orson Welles was at and said, do you want to do this? And he went, no, I don't want to do it. And he said, what if we have the chef? We move the chef to the studio and he'll make this your dinner every night. And he went, yes.
Yes, I will do
So
that,
you
yeah.
could see why when whatever studio got this, when of course we're not going to make that.
Yeah,
What are you
how
talking?
much should we be paying for Orson Welles' chef again?
And then there's other people. Aidan will obviously mention them, I think, but it's just like, I'll pay you $3 million for 3 words. It's like, I'll do it.
It's
Yeah,
like,
alright, go on then.
I think it's one of those movies where I think it would have had to be perfect for it to actually sort of work. Yeah.
Jodorowsky's
Yeah.
The team that did it did Alien. So Giger did Alien. The guy who did the spaceships for Jodorowsky's Dune that was on Alien as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
Basically, the full
Definitely.
team moved to do Alien. So that's on YouTube.
Really good guys.
You can see the influence actually, like pretty well.
That documentary's on YouTube. It's free. You can watch
Yeah.
it.
Pretty good. I'd highly recommend it.
So what would you guys give it out of 5 stars?
I'm giving it 1.5. I thought it was fucking shite.
I'll give it 2. I think there's some good stuff in it. I think it's alright. That is pretty shite, but I'll give it 2.
I think.
I suspect you probably quite like it, Tom, to be honest.
Well, that's the thing. I did like the designs, as I was saying, but the story's absolute dog shit and the pacing's fucked.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But the actual set
It's fair
design,
enough.
the artistry behind it, the teams that clearly worked really hard on the miniature design, the set design, the costume design, and the actual vibes of the film, really good. It's just I feel like it was let down by its narrative.
Vibes go a long way, so if you want to give it a high score based on that, that's
They
fair
do
enough.
go a long way, but
I would increase my score if we're doing vibe based.
We're talking about the whole film.
yeah, the film as a whole.
Yeah, well, my 1.5 incorporates the fact that I think there was some good stylistic choices. I think the set design was pretty good. That is the 1.5.
That's the part that that's part of the movies that I think I personally care more about is a lot of the sort of design aspects of it and the sort of stuff that goes into it. So I'll give it. I don't know. I don't want to say it's good because it's really not overall. I would probably give it maybe like a 2.5.
So
to be honest.
all of you score below the Letterboxd average of 2.9
Yeah.
because you're less cool than people who use Letterboxd.
I'd just get like if I was doing it in normal terms, I'd do 5 out of 10 because I think it's the good parts keep it up, like prop it up to halfway to make it entirely average, but the narrative brings it so far down that it's just completely average.
What it really is like to me, have you ever seen Flash Gordon?
Yes,
It's really like Flash
it
Gordon.
is campy retro. I like
It's
it.
really like Camp Flash Gordon.
That's what I like about it. That's the part I really felt worked about it, is the
Right,
campy retro sort of sci-fi.
Gordon's alive.
Isn't another musical star from the 70s also in that? It's not Sting as well, is it?
No, it's not Sting. It's
Flash Gordon.
Who's the musician who's in Flash Gordon and he plays the villain?
the villain.
Oh,
Could somebody like that? Jamie, pull that up.
You do
Yeah.
need a producer.
Sting was. I mean, you messaged the group chat beforehand saying that.
I asked my stepdad, so he can review it for me. I said, have you ever watched it? He said, yeah, and I said, what do you think of it? And he said, oh, it's alright, but Sting's in it and he's fucking god awful.
Do we have news, Tom?
Of course, well,
Nah,
You know,
no
there's
news
only-
this week, nothing happened.
there's only one big thing that happened in our local area that we can talk about.
Why are you looking spacey eyed? Surely.
Because he doesn't know, clearly. Did you not know? Have you not heard about the Willy Wonka experience?
Glasgow Willy
Oh,
Wonka
right,
experience.
aye, right.
The Willy Wonka experience.
I've heard enough about this. Where the fuck was it? I didn't realise it was
So-
Glasgow. Whereabouts was it?
It was in. It was just past the West End. It was in Whiteinch.
Whoa! It was in
No way.
me and Aidan used to live in Whiteinch.
You're gonna
That
give out my
was
social security number as
But
well.
we don't live there anymore.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
but they
no-
might look through my post.
Yeah, so basically this place, this event, this mega event, this mega experience was held between 24th and 25th February. But it only lasted over the 24th of February because it was closed. Now,
Why was it closed, I wonder?
well, let me tell you, the actual event itself, the planned event, where people would pay £35 for a ticket.
I heard £40 a head.
Nah, it's 35.
Maybe they're a £5 booking fee.
Possibly.
It's
But
funny we're doing more shite versions of Timothée Chalamet things today.
I know.
You
That's the
haven't
theme.
seen the new Willy Wonka film, you can't say that, that's unfair.
What? I'm saying it's better than that.
Yeah, he's in
I
more
presume
shite
it would be
versions.
better than that.
Oh, alright, okay.
Why are you getting annoyed at me besmirching Netflix's flipping?
Because
With
it's on
Wonka film.
Netflix.
Ah, yes.
Does it?
Yeah, did they
Just
not
like
get-
how this film was on Netflix and that's why we should all watch it.
I thought it was free on Amazon Prime, actually.
No, you said it was free on Netflix.
I meant Amazon Prime.
And it was also not free.
Okay. And you
You
didn't
might have been
fucking-
mistaken on 4 different separate things.
Yeah, literally no component of that sentence was true.
So the event in itself, the planned event, it actually only lasted 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Really?
2 hours and 15 minutes of that.
2 hours because
Is
No,
that,
I think
as
he
in...
meant it was only open for 2 hours.
Right,
15
right.
Not
minutes.
as in those poor children were
So-
put through 2 hours and 15 minutes of what looked like a
Basically-
refugee camp.
basically what happened was when you walk in, or the plan was when you walk in, you get a guided tour around the fucking, it's Funny Factory,
Yeah.
right? And it takes 45 minutes.
Uh-huh.
So this scripted tour, they done
AI
3 of
scripted.
those. Hmm?
It was written by AI.
Yes, well I'm getting into that.
Yeah.
He did 3 tours, and then the third tour, the script completely derailed, and they just lost it, and they just let people sort of walk around. And when you're walking around without the script, it takes 2 minutes to get through the whole experience.
Hmm.
So basically, that's how long it lasted. It lasted for an hour, 2 hours and 15 minutes was the actual planned,
And folk called the
event.
police.
and eventually folk called the police because they were like, "This is a fucking rip off."
Paul Black did make a good point when he said, like, sorry, you can't just be like, I've been ripped off, this is shite, I'm going to phone the police.
Yeah,
that's
that's
not the
so-
police are
That's
for.
how tight Scottish people are. They think being ripped off is justifiable because they phone the police.
40 fucking quid? No, I'm phoning the police.
Well, it's, I mean, 40 quid for that.
It's still not a
You
police
can't
matter.
get the fucking DCI involved.
They've got it shut down.
No, I think the guy just shut it down himself. He's like, well, this is
Too
obviously a
much
fucking
bother,
disaster.
yeah.
So,
No,
Well, surely he
I'll
knew
get to
it
it,
wasn't
I'll
a
get to it.
fucking disaster.
well, let Tom go then.
Yeah.
Did he know it's a disaster?
Yes, and here's why. So, as you said earlier, why was the script thrown out? Because it was all AI sludge.
Yeah.
Like they had barely any idea what was going on throughout the script. So basically there was these paid actors, and I'm sure you've seen the Meth Olympia.
I have seen
Going
the
around.
Meth Olympia, yes.
Meth
They were on Good Morning Britain, those two.
Really?
I
Aye.
thought it was just one of
As
them.
they should be. They were unpaid. They weren't paid for the whole
Did they
thing.
just know the guy?
I don't know.
I think
They're
she
probably acting
teaches
students.
yoga to children, the main Meth Olympia.
Okay.
And that's her main job, or she obviously has
So
to
this
have
was like a side hustle
Yeah.
For no money.
for no money. Well,
But
she
I
was
imagine
supposed
she
to
was
get paid.
promised money
Yeah.
to do that.
Supposed to get paid.
Nah, they're acting students or something. They'll do it for experience. Probably.
No, the Willy Wonka was a comedian.
Yeah.
I also
They
heard
hired
something
him
else
to say
about him. Is
the-
that true?
Yeah, I believe he might have been outed as being a bit dodgy.
Well, they're
I
not.
don't know about that, but
Yeah, I read-
Allegedly, Willy Wonka from the Willy Wonka Glasgow experience is a paedophile. Allegedly.
I don't know how they uncovered that in one day.
The internet.
the power of the internet. Yeah. But
Which is the cherry on
I
top.
hope none of
Apparently
you
they-
boys have any skeletons in your closet for the internet to uncover.
No.
Because I know mine's clean.
No, I'm nothing. I'm fine. I'm
Because
clean.
they're bloody quick at it, tell you what.
They are. So basically, this guy, the dodgy comedian, who I now know is a dodgy comedian, didn't know that. Basically, he was
Well,
told
we-
the day before the experience to come in and do it. Basically,
Yeah, and then so in the AI generated script, eventually the unknown who they've
I'm
AI 's
getting to this bit. This bit's mental.
Well, is it the Hoover bit?
The Hoover bit.
Right, so the unknown who was fully not a Willy Wonka character,
No,
just AI bollocks.
Basically, what happened is it's a character made out of the AI not understanding how language works. Basically,
Uh-huh.
so the unknown, right, is let me get this right. He's an evil entity chocolate maker, right, and he phases in and out of walls.
But in the end of the script, the unknown is killed by Willy Wonka
Yeah.
using a Hoover. And then the comedian,
Don't know this. But
paedophile comedian said to the, allegedly, said to the production staff, like, alright, do we have a Hoover for me to kill the unknown? And they were like, nah, but just improvise. It's like, well, how can you improvise
Brilliant.
a Hoover?
Honestly, it's no wonder the script fell apart after 2 goes.
Yeah.
So did the AI machine
Mm.
just write something the unknown like as a placeholder, and they
No,
went,
probably
let's
didn't,
make a
because-
character?
No, probably just the guy probably just prompted the AI to make a script. He probably just put in, make me a script about an experience with Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, da 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 da, and probably with the amount of like the database that the AI has, it needs to have a protagonist, a villain, da 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 da. It needs to have these certain parameters. So it probably just made up this thing.
Why didn't they just do the Willy Wonka thing? Why didn't they just have the
Because AI is the
Augustus
future.
Gloop and all that?
Because
It's about technology, baby.
yeah, it's probably they probably just put up. I mean, do you know? Have you seen the company behind it? The
No.
House of Illuminati.
Yeah, I
It's
know that's what
literally-
they called that. So.
They're the whole. If you look at the website for the Willy Wonka experience, right, it's all AI.
Yeah.
All AI.
I looked up, it's still up and
It's
running.
still up. I looked at it just before we started. It's,
Do you
it's still
think-
up. But the website for the House of Illuminati is the exact same.
Do you think
all
the
AI.
Willy Wonka experience will be like the beer hall pooch of AI?
What?
And the,
What?
Oh, I know. No,
like
no,
the
you're talking
early
I don't
early
know.
days of AI, it failed, and the Willy Wonka experience now got laughed out of town. The unknown and et al. But they'll come back with a vengeance eventually and take over the world.
Possibly.
That's what I'm worried about.
about. The unknown had planned for this the
Mhm.
whole time.
I mean, he is an evil entity chocolate maker, so
I am always 3 steps ahead.
Tom, what's the website?
Check
so I can
behind your
have a look?
mirrors at home.
it's. I'll show you. It's called the Willy Wonka experience.
Let's have a look at it.
So it's all AI generated.
God, look at this
So
state
the House of Illuminati turns out is one guy. Also, look at this.
If
If you look at the website, thanks for our audio only podcast. If you look at the website, the actual poster itself that they use in one of the images has been AI they're all AI generated. But if you look at the actual text on it, it has stuff like catcha-gating, live performances, Carchy tons, Exarzer Day lollipops, a paradise of sweet teats.
One some woman from Easter House went, yep, 35 quid sounds reasonable.
Did you not see the clip of them confronting the guy who's running it outside the venue, and
No.
then they're all mad? Did you not watch this? I put it
No.
on. I put it on the Twitter chat. It was so funny, and they're filming the guy, and it must be the guy who sat alone and made this at home. He's like, "There will be a full refund available on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening." And then the woman's like, "Whoa, fucking get back here!" And she's like, "There's not enough information about it on Facebook or anywhere. There's not enough information about it to know what's going on." And it's like, "Why'd you pay 40 quid for a ticket then?" And then at the end, he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, I will now be going away. If you need a refund, please email House of Illuminati." And then he walks away, and then some guy goes, "Mate, you're lucky people are filming this. They're fucking ragdoll your boots." And the whole time there's a security guard, and he's just sitting picking his nose, and he just looks so bored. And then the woman sticks her camera in his face. She's like, "You made Wayne's cry. You fucking ruined Christmas." And he's like, "After fuck all, I'm just on security for a venue."
Ruined Christmas
Fair
in
play.
February.
Fair
Oh,
play.
it's so
Please get your
funny.
refund from the unknown, and then the unknown goes behind the mirror with all the cash.
You need to watch the clip. It is the most Glaswegian thing
Yeah.
ever.
Let me walk you through the website so we can see what the experience was planned to be, boys.
Yeah,
right?
well, he said, the guy who ran it, he's like, "We use artificial intelligence to market the venue," and then the woman goes, so you're a fake, so it's all made up."
Basically, here's let me tell you about it. Dive into the whimsical of Willy's chocolate experience. That doesn't make any sense. A place where chocolate dreams have become reality. Book your adventure now and embark on a journey filled with wondrous creations and enchanting surprises at every turn. And first stop, the Enchanted Garden. Not a place in Willy Wonka, I don't think. Is that a real
Yeah,
place?
No,
No.
there's like a garden.
It's a
though.
garden, but it's not enchanted, is it?
It's just chocolatey.
Yeah, so your journey begins in an enchanted garden with giant, 2 spaces, sweets, vibrant blooms, mysterious looking sculptures, which was in reality a plastic rainbow arch
Yeah.
and a red sort of spinning bush.
So they do incorporate some of the characters then. Violet Bloom.
Well, no, this is just vibrant blooms.
Oh, vibrant.
Yeah,
I
like
know that
as
was-
in
I just
as
knew
in
there was-
plants.
I knew there was a.
No,
violence.
you're giving them too much credit.
Okay,
You're giving them
sorry.
too much credit. So yeah, no, and magical surprises add an extra layer of wonder to your chocolatey experience. navigate through peculiar but enchanting gardens, collecting delicious beans of all colours, shapes and sizes.
Beans.
Yeah, you know that handful of beans they got at the end of the experience?
Of all colours.
Of all colours,
All
shapes and
colours,
sizes.
The jelly babies or whatever. Jelly beans.
No, literally just jelly beans that they got handed by the end of the thing.
Allocated 3 jelly beans.
3 jelly beans.
Per way.
Quarter cup of lemonade.
This is just off. I mean,
Yeah.
look, they brought a picture up, right? It's sort of AI generated.
It's so AI.
There is a car, an eyeball, and and like what looks like a kind of television
It's
and
like
a piano.
thing. Yeah.
A piano with a TV
Oh
screen.
yeah, it's all of our favourites.
All of
Oh,
your
I
favourite
can see- I
little
can
ones.
see now,
Yeah. So next up is the Imagination Lab.
Twilight Tunnel.
The Imagination Lab, prepare to be captivated by a visual spectacle. Encounter mind-expanding projections, optical marvels and exhibits that transport you into the realm of creativity. Now, see for this area, what they were supposed to have was a projector, right? A projector screen. What they instead had was a sheet on a wall.
Oh, I saw that. That
Yes.
was one of the most
So,
ground looking parts.
That was the
It's
Imagination
just a
Lab.
poster they
Yeah.
had up.
Imagination Lab. Here's a blank sheet. Imagine something cool happening.
But that, so
Imagine you'd enjoy yourself.
Imagine you want to give me 20 more quid.
So picture that in your head. Picture that in your head as I say this. This space invites you on a surreal journey where the boundaries between reality and fantasy harmoniously merge, resulting in enchanting and visually striking encounter. Brace yourself for an adventure that leaves you spellbound.
There's a white sheet.
It's a white sheet. And a table. Don't forget the table. The folding table.
Spellbound.
Well,
Anyone saw this?
the picture they've got's quite nice. It's kind of Art Deco.
It's very AI. It's so AI.
Yeah, it's
So
got
next
Art
up is
Deco looking,
the Twilight Tunnel TM. We've got a TM by the way behind us. Twilight Tunnel TM. In Twilight Tunnel, get ready for an exhilarating and immersive adventure. Journey through a dimly lit passage. Oh, that just sounds dodgy, doesn't it?
White inch. A dimly lit passage.
Especially damage.
A poorly
White
lit
Inch,
studio.
where,
White Inch.
Allegedly paedophile Willy Wonka.
A poorly regulated company awaits your
Where-
sensational needs.
Ian, where did you hear his announce?
Just Twitter.
Twitter.
Within an hour of this guy going like, "Hi, it's me, the comedian behind Willy Wonka." Just someone like commented a screenshot of him talking to a 15-year-old and like, "Oh, they've got him. They got him."
Christ. Yeah, so journey through a dimly lit passage adorned with captivating projections, enigmatic sounds and surprising turns that will immerse you in suspense and excitement. It's a heart-pounding experience.
Aye, because you're like, "Where's my fucking money?"
Heart-pounding
Where's my weed?
experience. with experience your. It's an experience your because there's no space in between experience and your, so it's a experience your. It's a heart-pounding experience you've never experienced before.
I'm sure, yeah.
It's
And
a dimly lit
the-
prison after
the what-
defrauding millions of patrons.
The wee picture they've got for that one.
It's
is-
patrons. No patrons. Patrons.
It's a wee
A
tunnel.
heart-pounding experience as you are harassed by the working class population of White Inch.
It's a wee tunnel with train tracks in the middle and
It's-
stars round it.
It's not even train tracks. It's like
Patrons.
it's a mixture of train tracks and a brick road with
Yeah,
wood
yeah.
texture on
Train
it.
tracks and a brick road.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
train. It's like
This isn't a
it's
painting a very
oh,
nice
so-
image.
no, it's not. It's
The light at the end of the tunnel.
But the best part is the the writing on it because it's you've got stuff like lighting, dim tight, diffractions,
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
vivu sounds, ungrivel, impretty, delicately, twirling, projection,
Spide.
So it's not
enigmatic
words.
sounds.
Unexpected twits.
Yep,
Svide, that sounds like a Swedish word.
Sved.
Right, go down. Here
And
we go.
the last one
There's
is
some unexpected twits behind the remakings.
yeah, captivating entertainment. Experience captivating live performances like the Methalumpa and the unknown.
The man who is performing or pretending to not be a nonce for 45 minutes.
Exactly.
Didn't
Featuring charming characters. I mean, they were charming characters. They were very charming. Singing original catchy tunes.
Was there any singing?
I don't actually know if there's any singing.
Oh no, we need to see that.
Marvel extraordinary props. Yeah, like the sheet on the wall.
They had a plastic
Extraordinary.
candy cane, I saw that.
Oversized
Yeah.
lollipops and a paradise of sweet treats. This event guarantees an immersive and delightful entertainment experience. suitable for ages 3 and up.
I really think.
What the fuck?
There's a last picture and it's like lollipops, and then there's a sort of Willy Wonka, and there's a balloon with what looks like a muscly woman on it with pigtails.
Yeah, it's
How
very
do
strange.
they decide that if you're too young for this, but 3 is fine?
I think it's just like 3 and up. You know, it's the usual like health and safety stuff.
Maybe the guy who had a bit more was like, yeah, I'll take money and rip people off, but I'm not doing it for 2-year-olds. No.
I think.
They're the only people who'd probably not mind going around this for 2 hours. They don't know any better.
I really think, like, if you are a parent who saw this website with no actual pictures,
Yeah, it's mental.
no nothing, all you know is that it's a fucking industrial estate in Whiteinch, and a basically an unused warehouse,
Yeah.
and then you go, know what? I'll pay 35 quid, go there, and then you're annoyed. It's like, what?
Yeah,
Did you
I
think
just-
they'd rigged
Especially
that?
because of how poorly the website's made as
There's
well.
not enough information about it. There's nothing on Facebook. There's nothing anywhere.
I would like to point out in the final image where it says captivating entertainment on the wee AI generated image, it says enchurning entertainment. Enchurning, not
And
entertainment.
Shannon Entertainment.
But it's just the amount of typos, the amount of weird like AI talk on it. It's like why
Yeah,
did anyone think
so
to
the
do that?
guy was from Glasgow.
Yes.
Because I could almost understand it if this guy was like just some Polish guy that thought, well, fuck it, I'll do that, and he didn't even speak very good English in the first place. But surely if you're from Glasgow and you have like a 4-year-old reading ability,
I think you're overestimating how well Glaswegians speak
maybe
English.
possibly. But
I mean, by the time this podcast episode comes out, this will be completely forgotten about as a meme. But it's been going about all this week.
I haven't been able to escape it.
Yeah, it's probably going to go into the beginning of next week as well. And everyone's talking about this is so amazing, this is so funny. But my overriding visceral reaction to this was this is so depressing. Like,
Yeah.
this
it's
is
all
what we're known for.
no, it's not even. It's an affront to Glaswegians, but it's like it's just a big warehouse full of working class people who are trying to get like some experience for their kids, or whatever, and they paid money. And you just look at the pictures and it's so grim and nobody's enjoying it. And then there was a big confrontation. And I was just thinking, this is like so depressing.
Yeah,
I just wish this
that's the
hadn't
vibes I
happened.
got. Yeah.
Then everyone all the workers there were actually just trying to earn
Yeah,
a
because
penny or two, and
they
then ended up not getting paid.
I feel bad for the workers the most. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
because they're doing it and they know it's rubbish. They have to pretend it's a good thing. It must be so embarrassing for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Way too much.
What makes it even better, right? Listen to this one. So I've just tried to click on the organisers' website
Invite them on the pod.
to invite them on to hear their side of the story.
Hustle podcast.
I mean, I think they've got a more well-oiled operation than we have.
Oh,
to be fair.
definitely.
Well,
So-
I think that's a bit doubtful.
So basically, I've tried to click on the picture that says organiser and it says House Illuminati on it, and it doesn't work.
You're taking it down.
Do any
No,
of
like-
do any of the links
Like
work?
there's no link.
Go location.
No, this is just
Why would
all
you
this
call
this
it
page.
that?
It's just
Well,
all this
yeah,
one
yeah,
page.
Does it work though?
I would imagine.
Yeah, see, it's just the one page. The Google Maps link has been taken down.
But if you work in children's entertainment,
The media partner
why
is
would
coming
the
soon.
company be called House of Illuminati?
Because it's meant to be like mental experiences.
Aye, Darren Brown watched on them, I think. Does he know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's all. If you look at the House Illuminati website, it's all AI generated as well. It's all. The whole thing is one guy with a wee chat GPT.
Is that the guy in the video who's like, we use artificial
Yes,
intelligence?
no, that's him. That's the one guy that is this is done.
He was such a werewolf. You had that Darren McGarvey voice as well. It was just, and then everyone was like, I'm fucking gonna ragdoll you, I'm booting a fucking rat. And he's standing there behind this bored security guard. There will be a full refund available on Monday.
Who played the? Was he playing the unknown, or was that?
No,
That's
that was
unknown.
another
He's not
unpaid
revealed
actor.
himself.
No, apparently it was a wee
That would be
woman.
the film.
No, apparently it was just this wee woman who didn't get paid also. So that's fun.
Class. The only video I've seen is the unknown it goes, oh, the unknown, and then the unknown comes out of like a sort of floor mirror,
Yeah, behind
and
the
then
mirror,
some little kid goes,
Do you think Timothee Chalemet is not aware of this?
Yeah, it has to be.
Definitely, yeah.
You
Has
must be
to be.
thinking Glasgow.
Glasgow.
Yeah.
Glasgow,
Yeah.
what a place!
You'll be thinking, why is this getting more traction than my bloody film? The Religion, man.
It actually probably has.
See if they did a tie-in with the unknown If they just did
That
like
would
last
be-
minute reshoots to get the unknown in the new Willy Wonka film.
I think it's already out, no?
Yeah.
Take it all down.
Recall all copies of this
Nah,
film.
release the unknown cut, actually, to do it.
Yeah.
This is the way it was meant to be seen.
I seen somebody put a clip of that of his new film, and then some lass had put like, "Oh my god, I'm getting the ick in real time" or whatever. And I'm thinking, fuck it. Well, somebody said it's a flipping musical.
You were thinking, he's mine, honey.
Why? Can we stop calling me gay every opportunity? By
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it's you fancy Timothée Chalamet.
I don't.
What do you?
Why?
What
Where
do
did
you
I
think?
hear that then?
what
Where
do
did
you-
I hear that?
What do you think of the potential twink death of Timothée Chalamet? People have been
That is
talking about.
sad. I've seen
twink
that. That's
I
sad.
think they're talking shite.
That's
I think
not
he
for whom
definitely-
the bell tolls. It tolls for Timmy.
Oh, very good. I think he definitely has put on a bit of face weight.
Mm.
He needs that buccal fat removal.
It does.
Oh
Pronto.
god.
And he's got a
Jesus
bud for it,
Christ.
you know what I mean? What's her face will sort him out. She'll have like
Okay,
what
yeah.
kind of discounts, man?
Discounts.
What?
Yeah.
Zendaya?
You have a
No,
discount.
He's not going with
No,
Zendaya, that's
Max
flipping
Kylie
hard.
Jenner.
Jenner, yeah.
That's
Is it
the-
Kylie Jenner?
Yeah, yeah.
Incidentally, I saw a picture of her and somebody commented, "Oh my god, she's lost so much weight," and then somebody said, "Dating a twink really does give you body dysmorphia." So there might be a symbiotic relationship between the two now.
Maybe they're just like
Good
evening each
feature.
other out. You know what I mean?
They will twink death together. No, they will escape twink death through the power of love.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice. I like that. I like that.
My mother had never heard of Timothée Chalamet, and
Chalamet.
Until she looked through your internet search history.
This is what you're talking about all the time.
can you stop calling me gay, right, to the point where you couldn't edit it out, please?
Who says it meant to any now?
You did this yesterday.
Should have made a Timmy boy round for a bit of dinner, Callum.
He seems nice,
No,
aye.
she says who's in the new Dune, and I said it's Timothée Chalamet, and
Your
right,
favourite?
Yes, it do. And what did she say? Oh my god.
what?
What did she say?
Callum?
She doesn't know anything about either of those people.
My sexual proclivities?
What was
She
the
says,
thing
"Is that why I
you
asked
were
for more moisturiser yesterday, Callum?"
No, I don't. The thing is, I'm not going to say it because obviously it's going to get fucking.
No, ask guys, stop taking the piss out, please. Go on, Callum.
Go on.
It's fucking.
The
Sorry.
floor is yours, mate.
No, because it's getting edited. I'm not having it in it.
Well,
This
then,
is
well
not
then
me.
start it again.
Right. I introduced my mother to Timothée Chalamet today. She'd never heard of him.
She can't come round the house, then.
She'd never heard of him previously because she asked.
But she's heard a lot from him now.
She was asking about who's in the new film, and I said Timothée Chalamet. She said, "The fuck's that?" So I showed her on Google, and it's like,
What was her? What did she think?
she was just like, "Alright, I've never seen him before," and I was like, "Obviously you have. Did you not see that?" She's seen that.
Oh
Don't
my god, Mum, he's like so famous. You should know him.
Yeah,
That's what he
that's
said.
exactly what I said. Aye.
She's like, shut it, yeah, wee twink.
You've not been in my room, posters all over the wall, please.
Nah, it's so obscured now, and she can't even see them.
Always
That's,
with claw marks in his face.
he's like cut out the eyes. That's what happened when he dated Kylie.
Do you
Can't
think?
even look him in the eyes anymore.
Right. This is ridiculous.
Your mum's like, can we get some different hobbies? Why do you start a podcast? Come, sorry, I lost track there. So people were interrupting. What was your story?
I want this fucking edited. I want
So the story was that you said to your mum, Timothée Chalamet, and your mum.
Is that the whole
Who
story that your
Who
mother?
dat?
Your mother didn't know who
She
he
had no
was.
idea who he was. He was so famous, you know. I think that's weird.
No, that's not. It's your mum we're talking about. That's not weird.
Yeah.
She's seen films that he's been in and just
Right.
didn't register.
Which films?
Don't Look Up. I think she's.
He's pretty minor and Don't Look Up.
Well, he's in it. She's seen flipping Little Women probably. I reckon she's seen that gay one he's in.
Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you watched that?
Yes.
Why do you not know its title then?
Because I know it's a gay one. That's all.
I saw it
What
matters
a
to
gay
him.
one.
It's a gay one with Timothée Chalamet. I saw it matters.
Did you look up Timothée Chalamet gay movie
No.
full free online and then you just saw it?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Do you know what the title is?
Oh my
I
god.
didn't.
Mum, we need to get peaches, please. Can you put that in the shopping list?
I didn't really like that film. I've told you before because I think it's like fucking daft at the end. It's like, oh, you're so accepted in that fucking 1980s, aye. Come
Yeah,
on.
it's not that far-fetched that a very cosmopolitan family, the father of which is a professor of classics, who holiday in the north of Italy or whatever, in the 1980s would not hate their son for being gay. I don't think that's that
It's not
far-fetched.
that ridiculous. The guy's a professor.
Yeah.
Nah, I think it's a bit silly. Because everything's like an idealised world, that.
I just think, no, that, I mean, I don't think you're homophobic, but I think that is a homophobic way of viewing films where it's alright to have a gay kid in a film if he kills himself by the end.
Sorry, that's
pretty
not what I'm
much.
saying.
No, but it is. It's like you can't have a film that is just a nice romantic film
But
about
that's not what they're doing. They
gay
don't.
love.
No, 'cause
They need to deal with the fact that obviously this isn't right, or they should be ashamed. But you wouldn't say that about a heterosexual relationship in a film.
Well, because see if you made a film in like 1870, right, and it's like.
But it's 1980.
Yeah.
So you
Not
see-
1870s.
No,
1980.
imagine this. It's set in 1960, right? This
Right,
film.
but it's not. It's set
No,
in
no.
1980.
Listen, I'm giving you another alternative film, right?
He's giving you the hypothetical.
I'm
Timothée
hypothetical.
Chalamet.
I had to get my damn shirt off. Salute this. Give me the damn
Hypothetical
facts.
film, right? It's set in 1960s Georgia, right? It's about a black woman.
Country or state?
Well, either would probably work.
Right, but in
It's a
in
nice
the-
black woman, and she meets a white boy, and they just get married and have a
yes,
lovely
but
romance.
in 1960s America, there were laws against interracial relationships and the Jim Crow laws.
Uh-huh.
In 1980s, I know.
Italy.
Yes, I know it's in Italy, so I don't actually
they're
know.
both
The
American.
laws there may have been different, but in 1980s, upstate New York, there were no laws against homosexual relationships.
Yeah. It's probably frowned upon.
And it also
still.
isn't actually the case that he just gets off scot-free, inverted commas, because at the end the whole point is that, spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen Call Me By Your Name, at the end Armie Hammer pursues a heterosexual relationship and basically says to Timothy, I can't continue anymore.
Yeah,
Which-
nice of him.
Yeah, which is a trope within homosexual relationships where one half can't accept the fact they're gay and then live a sort of fake life.
Alright, fine.
Armie Hammer, big name, was a big name till he got.
I'm surprised
Tell
he
you-
wasn't at the Willy Wonka experience.
Honestly, he's a strange boy.
Scar-
He was the unknown.
How did he disgrace himself again? He said, I want to
How
eat
did he
you."
not disgrace himself?
He-
mate?
he-
it was continued mistakes.
Went on about the love of the
Marquis de Sade.
Marquis de Sade, yeah, and I think in past relationships people came out and said that he was a bit of a sadist. Talked about how he wanted a woman to chop off her toe so that he could carry around with her and stuff
He was
like that.
came as a cannibal.
Can't wait.
Wanted to be a
Wanted to
cannibal.
be a cannibal. Well, yeah.
He's just a bit of a degenerate.
Wannabe cannibal.
Ain't that another Timothée Chalamet film? So he can eat someone?
He plays a vampire.
No.
What's that called?
No.
Timothée
Blood,
Chalamet plays
that's
a
called-
vampire.
That's called The Blood of You or something.
No. Bones and all, I'm thinking of.
Bones. Yeah, he plays a vampire.
No,
right?
it's that he eats her, I think.
Alright.
I
Oh
was-
no, I think you're right. Maybe they're
Because Bones
cannibals.
and all. I've not watched the film.
It's
Didn't
not
it-
called Bones Are Not. It's called Bones of You.
It's called Bones and all.
Alright, it's called Bones and All. Sorry, well I did that out. I don't look stupid.
We're
What
not-
a great point, Callum. Please continue.
Well, it's another cannibal film. Another cannibal. Everything relates back to Timothée Chalamet this episode.
Well, because we're talking about Timothée Chalamet.
And Dune. And Call Me By Your Name.
He does not feature in Titbit Bullshit. You'll be displeased.
Speaking
to
of
know.
tip bullshit,
Tidbit bullshit. If you've never played before, two truths, one
Fuck up already.
two truths, one lie. This will be done by Aidan this week.
Aidan. So take it away, Aidan.
Okay, so this week I have looked up 2 facts, and one of them I have invented, and I thought it would be Dune themed preemptively because we're going to talk about Dune in this episode. So
You want to? What do you mean we have?
I said we were going to.
Alright.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I'm just going to, again, for the last time I did it, I think episode 2 for all the aficionados, the completists, I'm just going to read it. I've already written them out because I don't want to do it impromptu like my predecessor Callum, because I think the way you say it might influence.
Predecessor,
Yeah.
so you're taking over from now on.
Yeah,
Cam's
I've
not doing
been-
any more
I've
tip
been-
bit
If I retire, you can have the
I've
job
been
again.
here last week, mate.
No, you.
Did?
you
Yeah.
did.
Well, not me personally. It was the whole team.
Aye, but still.
Okay.
Tip that team.
Okay, here we go. Number 1. Number 1. Bored by Frank Herbert's Wikipedia page, I searched Serge Gainsbourg Frank Herbert into Google to try to discover a connection. And indeed, I was able to find one existing picture of the two together, taken at the 1985 Cannes Film Festival's after party, in which, in the background, Gerard Depardieu is whispering something into Gainsbourg's ear, and in the foreground, Herbert is snacking on peanuts.
Interesting.
Number 2. Star of Dune 2, Christopher Walken's mother was born in Parkhead in the East End of Glasgow. After living in Easterhouse for a while, in 1930 she left Glasgow alone aboard a ship bound for the United States.
Well, I do know that Christopher Walken's mum's from Scotland, but I don't know about that detail.
Pardon me? Okay, number 3. Nepo baby Leah Helene Seydoux Fournier de Cloisonne, whose parents are third cousins once removed, is not the first Seydoux to be involved in the making of a Dune adaptation. Her granduncle Michel Seydoux was the producer of the infamously uncompleted Jodorowsky Dune adaptation from the 1970s.
Okay.
No, we didn't know that. We could have just talked the full thing about Jodorowsky's Dune then. We could have told all the stories about how he was going to pay Salvador Dali $3 million for 3 words or something like that.
What do you mean we didn't know that?
Well, Callum doesn't know.
I don't know
the
which.
facts.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, it's good, that's the game.
But I think it probably is because of how we were talking. So I
So-
suspect probably the first one's wrong.
I just said that I...
So hang on, can we get a quick recap of each one? So, Christopher Walken's mother,
Christopher
Comes from
Walken's
Scotland.
mother, she was born in Parkhead,
right?
East End of Glasgow. She lived in Easterhouse. Number 1 is that I was looking on Frank Herbert's Wikipedia page and I couldn't find anything interesting to say, so I thought I just searched.
Serge Gainsbourg.
Okay, Serge
and Frank
Gainsbourg
Herbert.
and Frank Herbert.
Yeah,
picture.
I just searched. No, I just searched Serge Gainsbourg, Frank Herbert, because I was wondering,
Mhm.
is there any crossover? And I managed to find one picture which was taken at the 1985 Cannes Film Festival after party, and in the picture, Serge Gainsbourg's in the background. They're not talking to each other, but Serge Gainsbourg is talking is talking with Gerard Depardieu, and in the foreground, a rather lonely-looking Herbert is eating peanuts. And then the third one is that Leah Seydoux.
Can we get a full name again?
Yeah.
I'd be mad if you did that off the top of your head. Well, look at your phone.
Nepo baby Leah Helene Seydoux Fournier de Cloisonne.
Fucking hell.
That's her full name.
And what was her uncle called?
Her granduncle. By the way, her parents are third cousins once removed.
Has to get that in.
That's
Yeah.
nothing, mate.
You don't get a name like that without having parents that are
True,
cousins.
true.
third cousin.
It's actually not. So her mother's grandfather is her father's grandfather's great grandfather's brother.
Yeah, that's nothing, mate.
Well, they have her parents have
Sorry,
the
it's
same
still
great
something.
great grandparents.
Mate, I'm probably related to you.
No,
or
you're
something.
not. You would definitely know if your parents were
Yeah,
third
but you're not
cousins.
shagging him.
My parents were. Not my parents.
Okay, and maybe in your case, Callum,
My-
actually,
my
it
great-
turns out your parents were.
Well,
you
my
know.
great grandparents were cousins. We know this.
No, but that,
They don't know that.
That's what. That's less severe.
No, it isn't.
Our parents have the same great great grandparents, and you obviously know that. And that's the thing. If that was the case, you would know that. Anyway, her granduncle Michel Seydoux was actually the producer of the Jodorowsky Dune adaptation that never got released, so she isn't even the first Seydoux to be involved in the making of a Dune adaptation.
I don't know if that's true. I don't remember hearing that.
I feel like
I don't
the
think
number one seems to me to be the obvious lie, but it seems like it could have happened. I mean, it's fine.
I think that's just well constructed. I don't think there is a picture of Frank
But
Herbert.
when he did the recall, of the first, he got it exactly right. He got it the exact way that he said
Yeah.
the first time.
So maybe
And
that's
if
the
you'd
thing.
like to know the reason, I looked into it, why they would be together in 1985 Cannes After Party, and of course the Dune film in 1984 was released, and it was nominated for the Un Certain Regard Award at the 85 Cannes Film Festival,
No, wasn't it?
which was why Frank Herbert was there. I don't know why Serge Gainsbourg was there, probably just because it was an open bar.
But I was on the wiki for June 84 on this podcast, and the only award is for sound. So why is it not on that? Aidan?
Because it's an international film festival, it doesn't usually come up with international awards. And it was only nominated for that award. It was longlisted. It didn't actually win the award.
Didn't win the sound one either.
True.
I remember the producer guy that kept interviewing in that documentary being French vaguely.
What do you
I-
mean?
I don't
Is
think
it-
there's that.
Is it you vaguely remember it, or he was French,
No, there's
comma
a-
vaguely?
there's a French guy in there definitely talking a lot, but I don't know if it's Lea Seydoux' uncle or whatever.
And Christopher Walken, his mother was from Park.
I think I believed that one.
Well, that is. I mean,
That's
I don't know
true,
if she's
I
from
think.
Parkhead. I don't know if she took the boat to America in 1930, but I know for a fact Christopher Walken's mum is Scottish.
Okay. No, I think I believe
Not only
that.
Scottish, but Glaswegian.
Glaswegian. Well, I don't know that for a fact.
And she lived
Yeah.
in Easterhouse.
I
It
think-
seems the most believable to me.
I think we go number one is the bullshit.
Number 3.
I
Number three
imagine you
was-
probably did that. The true aspect of that is you definitely did search Herbert. What was it?
It sounds like something you would
Not
do,
Henry,
yeah.
not Henry Herbert. Frank Herbert.
Frank Herbert.
Serge Gainsbourg.
So-
That definitely did happen. That's canonical.
Canonical.
That's canon.
That is something you would do in fairness. That's not something.
Well,
exactly the
it's
kind of thing
it's
you
up
would
to you.
use.
I say number one. I think we should vote.
Number 3. What was number 3? It was the.
The
Lea Seydoux.
Lea Seydoux.
Whose parents are third cousins once removed.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm more inclined to go number 3 than number 1.
Alright, number 3 then. That's the bullshit. What's
I don't
happening?
know. I think number 1 might be the one.
Don't decide.
Well, hang on.
You have a deciding vote, so you just go for it.
Let me think, yeah. So,
Think it through.
See if the bullshit is that actually she was from Drummadrocket rather than Parkhead.
that's
That's
scummy.
shite.
Yeah, that's scummy.
Tom, didn't you watch this documentary this week?
No.
Alright.
And her granduncle, Michel Seydoux, also owns Lille, the French football team, I believe.
That might be true, but
See, that does sound believable.
that's unrelated. He's
I
fucking
think
playing
I'll-
with our minds.
Press for time here. We are an audio podcast on.
Beep. I'm gonna go with. I think you became.
Does anyone have any
you've
more
rehearsed-
questions before we decide?
That's
No.
what I'm saying. I
I
think you've rehearsed
No!
number 1 too
I'm so
well.
sorry, I'm trying to give more content for our listeners.
I think you've rehearsed number 1 too well.
Yeah.
Well,
It feels too constructed, if you get what I mean. Because remember how you were saying his recall was perfect for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if it wasn't something you'd made up, you wouldn't have perfect recall of it. Because you've
Well,
made
if
it
you'd
up.
seen the
I'd
image, you would have perfect recall because you'd be able to visualize it.
True.
Serge Gainsbourg in the background is sitting at a table, and Gerard Depardieu is leaning over him sideways in the background, and he's whispering something in his ear. And Serge Gainsbourg kind of has one eye open, so I can't really make out his reaction. In the foreground, Frank Herbert is just sort of looking forlornly into the sort of middle distance. He has a bowl of peanuts in front of him, which I think is quite weird. I don't know why they'd
Why is
say.
it you're serving peanuts at the after party?
Yeah, I thought that was
Kind of
weird. It's a bit drab. Get a
What,
bottle of champagne or something.
what was the award
Monkey
for
nuts.
this woman again?
It was nominated for Un Certain Regard.
What does that mean?
It's basically, it's not the Palme d'Or, it's not the Gold Award, but it's like we acknowledge that this also was a good film. It was long listed for Un Certain Regard, but it didn't come anywhere near winning because Dune, although we mentioned it was not commercially or critically successful in the United States, but it did have a bit of a renaissance in France and Spain and Italy. It was more well received in continental Europe than in America,
Oh, Europe in the 80s did have the massive sci-fi boom, so I can see that.
and I feel like they were more receptive to Lynchian kind of experimental
They
cinema
love
in America.
like
would
if
be-
you look at like European sci-fi movies at the time, they are schlocky, they're campy,
yeah.
they're very much the same as that sort of Dune vibes.
Mhm.
We've talked about it before actually. Remember we watched that one entirely in Spanish called like
Yeah, when we were in
Journey to the
Spain.
Star or
I
something.
looked that up. We were on holiday in Madrid and we were watching, between the pornography channels, we managed to find this sci-fi channel. And it,
Which
was,
in Spain is all of the channels.
and it was playing some sci-fi film in the 70s, and it was some really high camp space opera.
Yeah.
And it looked just, I mean, it just looked so absurd, but it was so strange.
It was great.
I actually managed to find the name of that film, and much later I looked up on IMDb. I mean, I looked up online.
Yeah.
There is nothing about that. Even if you search the Spanish title, there's no record of that film. I think it has an IMDb page and there's like 2 pictures and 1 line to describe it. It must have been some really doubly obscure Francoist era sci-fi film that,
So we're just lucky
we're
to see
probably
it.
some of the few people that have even watched
Probably
it.
one of the only English-speaking people.
Oh, definitely.
We had no fucking clue what was going on.
Anyway, back on track. So we've played
Yes.
tip bullshit. So I think we're gonna need to respond pretty
Okay.
soon.
So,
The listeners are bored.
I'm locked in 3.
you're locked in 3, you're locked in
I'll
1?
change my vote. I'll make it 3.
So
Can I
okay,
just
3
clarify?
then?
Yeah,
It's 2.
we'll go for.
Two.
I think I'll go for 3 because I think you can sort of convince me with 1.
So you're
Possibly.
saying, just to clarify, 3 is the one that's not true.
It's a
Yeah.
bullshit.
Right, okay.
So
So,
fucked it.
What's a milk this one?
Smile on his face.
what do you mean milk it? I'm so sorry. Right, well I can confirm
Mm.
exclusively that indeed Christopher Walken's mother, she was born in Parkhead. She
What?
lived in Easter House and she departed to America on a boat in 1930.
What was her name?
Rosalie Russell, I believe. I don't actually have that written down, that's just from memory.
Wow.
However, unfortunately for you three, Michel Sardou
Wow.
did indeed
Oh my
produce the Horodowski adaptation of Dune.
He must have been a wee French guy.
The whole story about the Serge Gainsbourg Frank Herbert film was just complete fiction. I didn't even
That was
Google it.
well acted.
I just looked it
That
up.
was well acted.
It was not nominated for In Certain Regard, although that is indeed a prize at Cannes Film Festival.
Well
And
done.
I thought it was quite believable. There's no element of that story that is impossible or even unlikely, and yet there is.
Did you actually look up?
No, I
Serge
didn't.
Gainsbourg? No.
I just imagined myself doing it and thought that'd be funny if that had happened.
It is very you.
Maybe I did because I do. Yeah, I did look it up. I did look it up after the fact, and then indeed, I know the listeners will be scrambling to their keyboards right now trying to find some connection between Frank Herbert and Serge Gainsbourg, but unfortunately for those two groups of intersecting fans, there is none. I
Oh.
checked.
Well done.
Well done. Well done.
So that's twice I've done it, and I've beaten you both times with something that was completely fictitious.
Well, it would have to be completely fictitious.
Yeah.
I think he's once, mate.
No, because I could, I agree, if I had said, no, she was actually for Inverclyde, that is cheating,
That's
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play.
So there we go. I win again. Did I get a prize?
No.
No.
No prize, unfortunately. Just as respect of the Mungos.
Nah, I didn't get that.
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
thought I had that before.
Nah, come on.
What does Frank Herbert actually look like?
Not very good
No.
from his Wikipedia page.
It looks like it looks like what you think a sci-fi writer would look like.
No, he's actually kind of normal looking guy.
Well, he's not.
Look at the beard, he looks better. He's got a big
He's not a
beard.
supermodel.
Well, no, he's a guy that
He's a guy that writes sci-fi. Yeah.
big beards. There's no disgrace in himself by walking
I
about.
think it is significant that Lea Sedou's parents are third cousins once removed.
Third cousin was removed. That's so far away.
It's not. You only have to go, how many generations that?
3.
4 generations back before you have your parents have a direct.
You have the same.
Common
You have
ancestor.
the same great grandparents.
No, great grandparents.
And how many of them are there?
How many?
16. You're 1/16 similar. My arse.
I don't even think there'd be any effect on the increased likelihood of your children getting mental.
He has this idea that Callum has this idea that of 3 generations ago everyone's related, which is not true. I mean, for the whole human race, I read that to go back far enough that everyone on Earth has a direct common ancestor, it's something like 150,000 years you have to go back. And people brought everyone's actually aristocracy because we're related to Charlemagne, but it's not quite that simple. It's that if your ancestry is 100% European, so it comes with that proviso, then you are somehow related to a guy that existed over 1200 years ago.
Yeah, but
It's not quite the same as-
European, because European's such a broad term. You know what I mean?
From the geographical landmass that makes up Europe.
Well, no, 'cause you had many people groups that came to Europe. And you get the
Yeah, so it narrows it down because a lot of people who live in Europe will have North
Hmm.
African ancestors, or
It's
Spanish,
right.
for
Okay, I
instance,
see
or
what you mean.
whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just an exercise in statistics. They haven't actually worked out. They've worked out the number of grandparents you would need to have, or great grandparents, and then worked out the population of Europe at the
So
time.
it's hypothetical.
Well,
It's
the
hypothetical,
Charlemagne one
right.
is supposed to be based on DNA analysis, and the same with everyone in Asia is supposed to be related to Genghis Khan. Or
Yeah,
what's
they all,
It's-
they all
it's
have
a
the
third,
pink ass.
Third or
Pink
two-thirds?
ass birthmark.
What's the pink ass birthmark?
I thought it
So
was
Everyone in Asia has the same birthmark.
No,
No,
a hell of a lot of people in
it's-
Asia.
I think it's a
have
third or two-thirds.
I have a birthmark on Mars.
Is it pink and massive?
It's brown.
I think you just need to wipe better, mate. That's a birthmark.
Is it
That's
blue?
such a cheap shot. That was a loud blow.
You know I have problems wiping.
I thought it was a blue birthmark.
No, I know it is blue. It is blue, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a massive blue birthmark on loads of babies' bums, and that's how you can kind of tell that you're related
The
to Genghis
Genghis.
Khan.
Apparently it goes
Genghis
away. Apparently it goes away.
It does.
Yeah, or it shrinks definitely. For some people it shrinks, for some people it disappears
Yeah,
entirely.
I actually had a birthmark on my wrist that shrunk away to nothing. It's still something there, but
Actually, if anyone's interested, Lacid's family are incredibly elite. Her grandfather owns Pathé, the production company.
really,
Yeah, but she said in an interview, "Oh, actually, my family never gave me anything. I was sidelined. I was the black sheep of the family."
yeah, of course. Of course.
Mm.
Oh well, fair enough. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you see her talking about, she was getting interviewed about, Timmy, right? And she's,
She was being interviewed about Timmy.
yeah, and she was saying like, oh, he's a visionary, mate, he's got all the act, and he's fucking crazy with the act, and it's mad.
Wait, why did that annoy you?
Didn't annoy me.
Another
Why
woman.
did you
That's
think
a real-
why did you think it's good enough to bring
That's
up
a
on the
real
podcast?
love triangle right there.
I know.
Callum, Timothée Chalemet, and Lea Seydoux.
Why is
And
that?
Leia doing Timothée Chalamet are really in love, and Callum was just sort of sitting there on the sidelines.
Why would that
I'll
annoy?
take it.
Surely in your mind, whatever you're suggesting here, surely that'd be, like that's fantastic or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. I know, but it would also cause tension. So, for instance, you just got jealous that one element of the throuple was expressing affection for another third.
No.
Big drama.
Can we stop calling?
You in the middle holding hands with Leia doing Timothée Chalamet swinging down Sucky Street. It's a nice little image for the listeners at home.
Can we stop calling me gay on the fucking podcast, alright?
Would you be in a throuple with those two?
You would.
It's the silence.
Can I just say we haven't edited this? Was genuine silence. He's dumbstruck. I don't mean think it out in your minds right
no,
now.
I
just-
wouldn't be in a throuple with the Timothée Chalamet.
Why did you just comically wink at me there?
you fuck off?
And
Yeah.
also, why do you have your fingers crossed behind your back while you're saying that?
Tom's also placed a pillow over Callum's groin as well, just at the thought.
Listen, I'm just protecting
There's a
everyone else
wet
here.
patch on the pillow.
Right, honestly, enough of the gay chat. Right, let's
Please
move
deny
on.
it, bro.
Let's move on.
Nah, let's not move on. So you say you wouldn't be in a throuple?
No, the only reason I brought up the fuck.
No!
The
Why
only-
did you say no in the first place?
Yeah, why did you
Why
pause
did
for
you
five?
pause
Why
for
did
me?
you go
and then
non-verbal?
put your head in your hands?
No, because it's embarrassing.
Just imagine this, BT.
Why was
Imagine we end the podcast on that. Just silence.
Yeah.
That'd be funny as fuck.
Yeah.
So,
And then fade in an image of Callum edited over Timothée Chalamet. And,
This is what our
Leia
babies
Seydoux
would look like. Is that what you message them?
What the fuck is
Yeah,
that?
I don't think
in bed. It's not a group chat.
You ever seen that film with Sidney Poitier where he's like the last
I don't know who that is.
black guy famous in the films back in the day?
Famous in the films.
what was the box?
Back in the day, and he was like, it's like he's the last man on earth, and he meets a bird,
I think you mentioned this before.
and he's like, fantastic, I'm having a great time, I'm in love, lovey-dovey, right? The world's worth something again. And then she goes with another guy, and he's like, because the only other man that exists, and he's fucking raging naturally, right? But then the way the film ends is they all walk down the street holding hands, like,
Much like you, Timothée Chalamet and Leia Seydoux. Sucky Street.
well, I wouldn't be interested in that, but yeah, it would theoretically be similar.
Something tells me you would.
I feel like you've almost had this exact fantasy.
Why would, what?
The gawking Neds outside the cinema.
Right, stop
Stare
that.
at you. The Neds gawking at Callum walking hand in hand with Timothée Chalamet and Leia Seydoux.
It
Well, I was
wasn't.
imagining the last people on Earth, because he's imagining, for some reason, a virus is developed by the Chinese government and it manages to wipe out
That attached
everyone.
the brain.
But Callum from the Mungos, Lea Seydoux, and Timothée Chalamet.
I think maybe the government have probably chosen those three because they seem far too important just for it to be chance.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They thought if we want the future human race to be predicated on 3 sets of genes, it must be these 3. It must be these 2 and Callum. Somehow Callum's just immune because he ate too much out of date food.
He likes too many doorknobs in his life.
That would be funny. Like they tried to engineer the future society to be genetically perfect, so they wipe out everyone but Timmy and Leah, and then Callum just survives. He's like eating stuff out the bin, like, oh, is everybody dead?
I was having what I called a master wank for 27 days in my bedroom, so I didn't come outside.
Also, what are you doing outside my house? Leah said, do it at Timothee Chalemet.
Yeah, they both live in.
And why is my mom dead?
Callum finally comes in and says like, oh, my mom's dead.
I've always shot with sting.
I thought it was me.
I like the clip of Leah Seydoux when she was on the red carpet. It's like, oh, it feels like my wedding dress. I thought that was quite sweet.
You look beautiful.
It says that you're serving tonight.
And she's like, no, and then she said, I feel
amazing, darling. I feel incredible.
Incredible. That was it. Incredible.
Yeah, that was quite endearing. I like that.
Absolutely rat-arsed. She was.
You think she was drunk?
Yes.
It's hard to tell with French people though.
No, it's not that
The way
hard.
she was
to tell.
swinging her head.
Yeah, she was out of it. I've seen you guys like that, and I can tell you're out
Thank
of
you very
it.
much.
Last night when we were out of the alley, I'm sure he doesn't mind his name being mentioned.
He's already been mentioned before, so.
He made a comment about me being drunk, which really happens. Because you always imagine when you're drunk that you can play it off coolly.
Yeah, no, you can't.
But I sort of walked over to James and then I said, what was it I said? I went like, you having a good time or whatever? And then,
That is something drunk.
and then Ali went, 2 pints, aye. You cheeky bastard. You ruined my cool. You ruined my composure.
It's
that
someone
moment.
did look fucking cool waddling over to somebody going,
No.
have a good night, aye. Fucking beer breath in her face. Poor girl probably wiped away the tears in her eyes.
Carol.
I don't know who you were talking to.
Just
James,
harassing
James,
women.
right, okay,
Yeah.
James.
I was just harassing women at the club, you know.
So last week we talked about how Callum lost his phone and had to and it was with a taxi man, and then you ended up buying a new phone using my Amazon Prime account again.
Again?
I've already talked about how you watched. What was it? How you
True
watched
Detective.
True Detective, my Amazon Prime account.
Yeah. I didn't make you pay for it. It's already been bought. It's not like I stole it.
Well, whatever. So, so you bought a new phone, right? And it came the next day. So you thought that is going to be the resolution of this story, but actually what happened was I was tucked away in bed because it was a Sunday night. I think I was waiting, to wake up the next day.
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning, fucking buzzer going mental, and then 2 seconds later, this guy's rattling the fuck out the door at 2 a.m.
Is this the upstairs neighbour? Is he making another
No,
noise?
he's thankfully not. And then
So
Callum
was this on the outside, or
opens
was
the
this
door.
your direct door?
Hmm?
This was the outside, or your...
This was the inside door, rather than out the letterbox, the
Yeah.
inside door. And then I kind of half awake, and I'm like, who the is the building on fire? What the fuck is going on? And then
So Callum wasn't up either?
No, Callum got up, and what I envisaged was Callum answered the door in his pants.
No,
right?
no,
yeah,
I know
as
he did,
you
but this is in my head. This is what happened.
As you
You swung the door open in your pants like, what? And then the taxi guy came, and he was like, you lost the phone. You lost the phone. And Callum was like, yes, I lost my phone. And then the guy went, this is your phone. And he went, yeah, that's my phone, yeah. And then he went, okay. And then he gave you the phone, and then he started recording you.
No, it's fine.
Well, this is what, from my perspective, this is what was going on. He started recording you, and then you went, thank you for giving me my name is Callum, and this is my phone, and thank you for giving me my phone back, and this is definitely my phone, and the other man giving me my phone. And then you waddled back to bed, and I was like, Callum, what the fuck was that? And then you said, what do you mean, it was a taxi guy? And I was like, why is a man rattling our door at 2 o'clock in the morning and then recording you with your nips out and fucking going, this is my Callum, this is my phone.
Right, I'll tell you what actually, I'm like...
And then you went, why are you annoyed?
You've been pleased for me. That's phone back. Selfish bastard.
I got out of bed, right? I opened the door, guys there said, do you know who I am? Yeah.
Do you know who I
That's
am?
the scariest thing for a guy to say to
I am vengeance.
Do you know who I am?
I said, yeah, you're the taxi guy from last night. He said, why did you not get your phone? I said, I couldn't get my Uber account or whatever. How was I meant to do that? He's like, no bar, right? He said, is this your phone? I go, yes, it's my phone. Because I did the fucking Google thing you can do on Google where you put an address on the front of the phone, right? So you use that to get the host, right? And then I opened it, I said, there's a windmill in the front of it, I'll open the thing. He said, do you mind if I take a video of you to prove so that you can't
For my
claim,
wife.
so you can't claim I nicked it or whatever. So I just went, oh
It's a
thanks.
paranoid taxi driver.
Yeah.
I just went, thanks very much mate, I got my phone back.
And he did the thumbs up to camera.
Yeah, I did,
And cut.
I did a thumbs up. And I
Can we
went,
try that again, but can you give more of a sort of
Yeah.
remorse this
We
time?
have a protagonist, but where's the antagonist?
I know actually where it was from because I traced the phone right. He said, oh I've come so far or whatever. Well,
Don't dox
not
him,
that
no.
far. Not that far, I tell you. Not that far.
Yeah, what? I mean, it was
Yeah,
different
argue with the
one,
guy
but-
who's outside your door at 2 a.m.
No, I wasn't arguing,
The
but he said I've
paranoid
come.
man who's filming you.
He said I've come very far. I knew exactly what it was, so it wasn't that. Not too far,
I
but
have come very far. Do you know
Do
who
you know my
I am?
name? Do you know my name?
Do you know who I am? Please, I'm going to film you now.
Father, God,
Daddy, I can't open the door. Every time he opens the
he's
door,
back.
right, he goes, Daddy.
Daddy. And then jumped on him.
yeah. But I mean, I'm glad I took it, got it back. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
it's
I'm
I
good.
wish it
So
could
now you just have like another phone.
spare phone.
Wait, so you
Got
didn't
Callum
return it?
phones?
Yeah,
You just have another phone
I
now?
just got a spare
And
phone.
he's 2 girlfriends.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
They used to do in Timothee Chalemet.
Why didn't they have a phone each? I've done a triple.
Okay, so that's the end of episode 5. You've been listening to The Mungos with Aidan.
Callum.
Yeah.
And Tom.